How's it going? This is Kurt with KSV Fitness, and I'm here to talk to you today about sarcopenia. What is sarcopenia? Well, the easiest way to think about this is sarcopenia is to muscle what osteopenia is to the skeletal system. So osteopenia would be the weakening of the skeletal system. Sarcopenia is the weakening of the muscle system. If we look at some data, I got this from the National Institute of Health, which is a kind of a conglomeration of a number of different studies over a number of different years for a number of different things in order to look at why people are losing muscle mass as they age. And there's a number of different reasons for that, but during that study, or what they found from the various studies, is that we lose muscle mass at about 8% per decade beginning at age 40. For those of us that are already past that age, hold tight. We've got some good news for you. Now, once we hit age 70, that rate of decline increases to about 14% per decade. And we need to kind of know this, and again, we're going to go into the nuts and bolts of this here in just a moment. So that's muscle mass. If we look at leg strength as a way of measuring that muscle mass, we're looking at about a 10 to 15% loss of leg strength per decade. Increasing, that rate of loss increases to about 25 to 40% again at age 70. So here's why we need to know that, and here's why it's important. So let's say we take an average adult male, okay, and this guy works out, he goes to the gym, he trains a little bit, and he's got about a 300-pound deadlift. He doesn't want to go any heavier because he's afraid of hurting his back. Okay, so we look at from about age 40 on, so a 300-pound deadlift that he's carrying on into his older years, and then he decides, well, I'm getting older, so I can't lift as much, so he's lifting a little less and a little less and a little less every year. And he's losing that 8% per decade. So he's losing that by age 70, he's lost a significant amount of his strength, his muscle mass, and at age 70, that rate of decline increases. All right, a rate of decline begins to increase. That's not good, because that means that he is having more problems over here later in life. There's problems with balance, there's problems with coordination, there's problems with not being able to do stuff. Okay, well, we take another adult male and we look at somebody that's got, say, a 400-pound deadlift, and again, same kind of thing, and we see that rate of decline. But even though we're declining at that same 8% and then 14%, what we notice here is that we still have at age 65, instead of having a 250-pound deadlift, our guy over here might have still a 350 or 375-pound deadlift. He has lost at the same rate, but he had more to begin with, so he has more in reserve in those later years. Now, these studies were done with what I'm assuming are deconditioned individuals. These are people that are not training on a regular basis. These are people that are not deadlifting, squatting, pressing as regularly as I feel that we should be, especially as we get a little bit older. So I will use myself as the example, a little humble brag. So my deadlift was hovering around 400 pounds for quite some time. I'm 55, my deadlift is now up to 435. Okay, so I have increased my muscle mass over the last couple of years. That's a good thing. So I'm not losing, I'm actually gaining here. Even if I hold steady at, let's say, 425 to 450 on my deadlift for the next 10 years or so, and then I see that rate of decline happen as it's projected, again, I'm still ahead of the game, okay? So if we look at this like we would look at earning income and saving for our retirement, we look at our income earning potential in our youth, okay, and how much we can earn, and we're also banking and we're saving, we're putting away towards retirement, so that we might not have as much income when we retire, but the more we earn, the more we're putting away, the more we have in reserve once that retirement comes. My way of looking at this is I want to stay active in my older years, and let's face it, I'd much rather have an obituary read, Kurt Belk, longtime personal trainer and gym owner, dies at age 94 of a broken neck on an obstacle course race. versus Kurt Belk, slug sitting on the couch for decades, broke his hip trying to get off the toilet at age 94. So, you decide where you want to be on that spectrum. But, ladies, so this works for you as well. I don't expect you to have a 400 or 500 pound deadlift, but even 150 to 200 pounds here means that you are much, much stronger as you go into those later years versus someone that can barely get 100 pounds off the ground. And then we really, really have problems, not just with that sarcopenia, but with that osteopenia and osteoporosis. So as that muscle is working, as that muscle is lifting and being used, not only are we training the muscle, but the tendons and ligaments stay strong, and your skeletal system is put under stress. As the skeletal system is put under stress, you're creating small little microfractures, okay? And as those little microfractures heal, they heal with greater density, more calcium buildup than if you were not training, okay? So the training that you're doing here is helping to maintain that bone density down here. All right, so choice is yours. More information to follow. I hope to start posting a few more of these videos. If you have questions, please leave them in the comments below and let me know what kind of information you would like to have. Again, this is Kurt, KSV Fitness. Thanks for listening.